Hey guys, welcome back to the Algebra 1 tutor. Just moving on to evaluating expressions with multiple variables. So we're going to have a couple different variables here, and this is where substituting with parentheses and making sure that you're taking your time, showing each step is going to come in huge. So let's get started. So here's an expression. Normally we'll say evaluate or simplify, but we have the expression z minus 5x, and we want to find its value when z equals 6 and x equals negative 5. You just have to believe me that when you write this down, you will stop making as many silly mistakes. So let's get this started. So first step would be to write the original expression. And again, this is an expression. We're simplifying it. We're not solving it because there are no equal signs. But we're going to open up some parentheses for z, write minus 5. And then when there's a number right next to a variable, the coefficient, we know that's multiplication. So just open up some new parentheses and let's substitute it in. So z equals 6. So we're going to substitute that there, and x equals negative 5. And then we just keep working vertically, ladies and gentlemen, just top down, in one step at a time. And don't forget about your order of operations. So over here with this minus 5, we can, we need to make sure we understand the value. So there's a couple different ways we can do this, but let's keep moving down here. So 6 minus, and then I'm going to multiply those two, and that's going to give me a negative 25. So I'm subtracting negative 25 from 6, and don't let this confuse you. I have a video on my website and on my YouTube channel about the subtraction rule. One more step here to make sure we understand what we're doing here. Keep change. So that's actually 6 plus the opposite of negative 25, which is positive 25. And that gives us 31. And obviously, there's going to be some mistakes, answers. So if it's a multiple choice, one of the answers would be 6 minus 25, which would be negative 19. Students also make the mistake of 6 minus 25 is positive 19. But just take your time. It doesn't take too much longer to show your steps. And here's one that's a little bit more intense. So again, we just need to be really careful. I always like to start with reading it. So this is x times y minus the quantity. So those parentheses mean the quantity. So we have to do that all just like with order of operations of x to the third power, or x cubed minus 5. So let's start opening some parentheses. There's my x, there's my y, and just rewrite it with the numbers that we have. So x is 2, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in 2 in both of those. And then the y is 3, so I'm going to put a 3 in here. And now that we have real numbers, now we can go and evaluate. So remember, order of operations, PEMDAS, if you've learned it that way, we start with the parentheses, and there has to be something to do inside the parentheses. So this 2 and this 3, there's actually parentheses, but there's nothing to do inside of the parentheses. We can multiply those because it has nothing to do with the rest of the expression. So we could take that step, 2 times 3 is 6, minus, and then once we get inside these parentheses, these are called nested parentheses, so we have to do inside out. So I'm going to go 2 to the third power. Please remember, 2 to the third power is not base times exponent. It's used to as a factor 3 times. So 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. And if you know that right off the bat, great, put an 8 in there. Minus 5. Keep working vertically. So this is 6 minus the quantity of 8 minus 5, which is 3. And here's another example of using the subtraction rule. Keep change. And guys, if you can do 6 minus 3, do it. Okay? But just so you can see it, 6 plus -3. So if I start out at 6 and I go 3 to the left, I'm going to end up at 3. So it's all about taking your time. It's all about using those parentheses, and you will be a rock star. Good luck. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know.